Welcome in everybody to the deck choices video for week 29. Welcome in. If you haven't caught the games from last week, make sure you check those out. They'll be in a little tab in the corner right now, as well as the games from the last time that this deck was a choice. If you want to see those, get some early understanding of how to play the deck. I think that is actually some of the best ways to practice is to watch videos of some other people playing that might be doing stuff that you might not have thought about. So you see there in the corner, we're going to keep it small for most of the video, but this is the deck that we chose on Free-to-Play Whales last time. I think there might be a couple changes based on some updates to cards since this week was last an option, but we'll go ahead and step through each choice one by one. All right, so first up, this is the one that I think will definitely be different, is the Awesemo and Murph over here. If we look at it, Awesemo was probably the better choice on the original options, but Murph is just a much better card now, and he's got a lot of health, and it's much more impactful than Awesemo, I think, and the potential to get onto New Kid and do some final damage is very strong. So I would say, even though we picked Awesemo last time, I would say this time Murph is our choice. Then from there, I think pretty much everything is gonna match. We're gonna do the Ninjew, or we're gonna do the Mecha. Although I will say, a slight difference from last time. Mecha has less health than he would have had last time, and that means that Fireball actually kills Mecha. So that potentially makes Ninjew also the better choice this week. So that's actually kind of interesting. So if we look, we have Murph. I'm thinking actually Ninjew paired with the Murph onto New Kid could be really good. Also, what we're doing, just like last week, we are picking the Jimbo, or the last time, Jimbo and the Ned. Although the Garrison could be good to deal with bigger cards, the Ned is definitely going to be the choice with that Sheriff. It's just, or the Hunter, sorry, just does a lot of damage. This week, Fireball will definitely be the choice. It was the choice last week to deal with the Ned, the Belf, stuff like that. Also potentially stop a Dougie, but this week it will also deal with the Mecha, so that'll be good. Purify was the choice. If you have to, it might purify something that could matter, like a Stan the Great debuff, or maybe a mind control from Mecha that might kill you or something like that. So there's just a few places where Purify might be useful. Otherwise, probably not a very used card. Classy versus Sheriff, or versus Storyteller. Classy was the choice last time. Do I think that's any different this time? Not necessarily. I do like the Storyteller, but Storyteller really, really shines when there's some Cox or something like that can be really debuffed with his aura. So I think Classy's good. Classy's hard to deal with. When there's no removal, having multiple big targets can be important. DSR is gonna be good to deal with Murph, Sheriff, or Hunter, sorry. I would say Sheriff Jimbo. Hunter Jimbo, Classy as well. So DSR is the choice there for sure. I would say Disarray is the choice. Can help deal with the Mecha, can help deal with the Ned, the Belf, something like that. Belf is also obviously the choice. And then previously we went Princess. And I think the reason we went Princess is you could potentially shut someone like Classy down, or somebody that's boosted by Garrison or something like that. There's some people that you can just shut down for a while. I personally like the Paladin because the shield protects from multiple people. but it just kind of depends on the situation. Paladin helps support one person versus multiple. Princess kind of supports defending new kid and stuff like that. And Princess is a little bit quicker on the attack, I believe, so a little bit more dangerous on new kid. So I don't think it really matters, so we'd probably pick Princess again, just based on what we've done before. And then over here in the corner, Stan the Great. Although Diabetes is awesome, there's not something like Hanky, Santa, or maybe Robin Tweak to really, really boost him up, then there's really no reason to run Stan the Great. Or anything other than Stan the Great, sorry. Stan the Great is one of those cards that's almost always the pick because the way he can impact a push. I mean, if somebody plays Commander Hat and you have Stan the Great out there, it completely neutralizes their attack boost. It neutralizes the Ninjew to an extent, so that's why like maybe the Mecha's a better choice because something like Stan the Great shuts it down so much. But I think the Ninjew might be better this time because of the fact that that Fireball is just going to kill your Mecha. So you're just feeding that energy every time. And if you think that's okay, like if you can just, make sure that they don't get much value other than that. But I feel like if you have a target for removal cards, you're playing into it. And that's potentially giving them value regardless. If they Fireball Belf, it doesn't hurt that bad. If they Fireball just Ned and Hunter Jimbo, it doesn't hurt that bad. But if they get that Mecha, it does kind of hurt because it's 4 energy you spend, right? That's kind of a toss-up. Ninjew makes the Murph kind of dangerous, makes the Hunter Ned combo hard to deal with, so that could get fireballed. And then if you Ninjew those two and they get fireballed, Ninjew's alive, Hunter's still alive, Hunter's got a boost. I think Ninjew might be the choice this week, actually. And then Murph probably. Otherwise, I think it's probably the same. I could still entertain the Storyteller. I don't hate the Storyteller. I've always liked the Storyteller. But let's look at the stats. We'll just pop this open for a little bit. If you guys want a visual of some of the things. Classy Speed is thrown out there, as well as some of the boosts, some of the attacks, and this is at a higher level, so obviously some of the levels are going to be different, but it does kind of show the damage of certain things, how much health, attack, stuff like that. So we're just going to pop it up a bit. Shout out to the Pirate Coalition. A link to that should be in the description. If it's not, you can head to my Discord, and then there's a link in my Discord. But this is done by a couple guys over there in Pirate Coalition every week. So I would say probably the most important thing this week after watching some replays, it's really getting that counter push after kind of they overcommit into you. You want to try to prevent DSR from getting too much value, so try not to play tanks, 2 at a time. Play Osimo or Murph, then when they're about half health or whatever, then you can play Hunter or Classy. Those 3 cards, or I guess if you go Zen, I don't think anyone would go Zen though. Those cards are going to be the ones that you want to use as your base, and then obviously support them as best you can. And obviously, the 2 things you're going to want to avoid the biggest, or there's 3 things that are probably going to be the biggest to try to avoid, are going to be the DSR value, the Fireball value, and then the general disarray value. So be careful what you play, what range cards you play, and when. If you play a card that's a good disarray target, maybe make sure you have the Paladin or the Princess so you can try to get them killed earlier. Be careful when to use your disarray. The best time to use your disarray is if new kid and everybody else is already hitting one of your tanks, so you don't have to worry about them hitting disarray. Murph, be careful not to use his ability too soon. If you use it too soon, you can just help them, maybe you'll take a bar, but you'll just help them build a death ball push that you can't deal with. Try to get as much disarray value as you can, but don't try to depend on it necessarily, because she can't, you still have to have other stuff to support her. Stan the Great, I would say wait to use it until, if you see the Mecha, then you're kind of free to use it, but if you can, like right when they ninju, try to put them out so that you can use the ability to stop the ninju blast if you can, or hold the stand the great if you think the ninju's coming. That's going to be a big part of getting value. Also potentially purify the ninju, the boost. Well, that kind of makes ninju not as good because that's kind of the only thing that purify gets value. I think Mecha might still be the choice, actually. Now that I think about it, I could see both of them being good, but I can also see both of them really getting countered easily. So I think the goal would be to play Mecha and hope that they fireball something else, and then play Mecha after that. But even, you know, playing Mecha, Disarray is a big target there. So I'd say Mecha's the better choice, but just maybe don't play him as freely as you normally would. Kind of be careful when you play the Mecha. Otherwise, Murph, like I said, be careful. Try to always get the Ned and Sheriff combo out there, or Ned and Jimbo combo out there. Anything else there's nothing too particular. It's kind of just who gets the better tank plus range boost, honestly. And really, Stand the Great is going to be hugely impactful. So I would say always play him in the upper left corner. So you kind of have limited access for him to get killed by other shit. And if they want to kill him, they have to deliberately put a unit up top. And then from there, you know, it's just kind of the skill of that push and pull of when to commit and when to counter push and etc. And sometimes you might have to lose a bar to be able to counter push. So especially if there's like a Dougie in the mix. So I would say, like I said, watch the games that are in the description. That's going to be 15 games of all different card choices, all different enemies. So you're going to really see a lot of what's going to be coming at you, and you're going to be able to get a feel for how I dealt with it and how you can deal with it and ways to attack and defend and stuff with this deck. So that's going to help a lot. I think even one of my teams picked Mr. Hat as well. So all right, we'll get out of here. That should be enough of that stats. And I appreciate you guys watching this. If you did make it to the end, I'd appreciate the like and the sub. We are at 1,000, or we are close to 1,000. When we get to 1,000, we're giving away a South Park Phone Destroyer t-shirt. So make sure that you subscribe, because you'll have to be a subscriber to win. And we do have 2 t-shirts, and we're going to try to give them away before the game ends, right? And we have some of those cards as well, some physical cards. So make sure you subscribe. We're going to be doing some giveaways for that type of stuff. And we do giveaways for Steam keys and gift cards and stuff like that on Twitch as well. So we will see you guys on the next one. Next week, we'll have another deck choice video. And then obviously we'll have the Team Wars games next Monday and other shorts and whatnot. I think I'm going to have Thursday be a South Park video, whether it's a highlight or a Buckethead versus. So be on the lookout for that. And then shorts and stuff will fill out the other days. And don't forget, check out Glanzer Gaming on all your favorite socials. The links are down below. Glanzer Gaming on TikTok, specifically trying to get 1,000 there so we can go live. That'll be a lot of fun. All right, peace out, everybody. It's been fun chatting with you about South Park. Make sure you drop your thoughts in the comments and what your team is going with. And we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.